Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden, this is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, today's content, guys, comes from New York. You know, the anti-gun capital of the United States. Some of the most stringent gun laws in the entire nation reside in New York. Not just New York City, but also New York. It's an important piece to note. Now, the article we're talking about is going to be linked in the description for your review, not only for you to verify the source that I've given you, but also so you can get your own opinions and let me know what you think in the comments field below from this article in full. But the article's title is New York Mayors Call for New Gun Control Bill. Now, the interesting thought about this is, immediately comes to your mind is, I thought New York already had extremely stringent gun laws and gun restrictions. And they weren't really into the Second Amendment. In fact, they're in the middle of the Supreme Court about to get their butts handed to them because they violated the constitutional rights of their citizens. But why would they need to do new gun control? And what else can they possibly do except backdoor gun control? And that's what this is about. So we're going to read the articles. I'm going to walk you through it, give you my analysis. And like I said, I want to know what you guys think because this is pretty interesting. There's a lot of caveats to this, and the left usually overreaches, and that's when they get their butts caught in the trap. And they're about to get their butts caught in a trap if they do this. But check it out. So, first off, let's talk about the catalyst. Okay, this is one of this bill's sponsors. We've seen a heartbreaking and devastating uptick in gun violence across New York State, including in the capital region, Fahey said. Local governments, law enforcement agencies, and families of victims affected by gun violence need another tool in their arsenal in the fight to stop the flow of illegal guns into New York and finally break the iron pipeline. Two things here. This is the people who are actually doing this bill. They're actually sponsoring this bill in the New York State, not the United States. That's an important distinction. This is state level, not Congress, not national. Two things from this quote. The first thing is going back to my original point. I thought all the gun control in the world was in New York, but there's still gun violence. It's almost like people are going to do what people are going to do regardless of the laws that you pass. So the only thing you're affecting with actual laws are law-abiding citizens because they obey the laws and criminals do not. That's just a fact of life. You look at any of the gun violence anywhere, everyone's breaking the law at some point in time because they're using the guns in an illegal manner, whether they have them or not. They're going to find a way. That's one. The second thing, the iron pipeline. Now this is really important because this is what really hurts the left in their presentation of their gun control because it conflicts exactly with their worldview, not with the actual rational statistical view of what's happening. So for example, in New York, as I mentioned many times already in this video, they have a lot of anti-gun legislation. Extreme gun controls in New York. They're clamped down very, very tight. However, they still have gun violence, and so what they're doing, instead of saying people are going to break the laws and that's the problem, we got to go for the guns in other states. The iron pipeline is the interstate system that goes all the way down the East Coast, and they blame that interstate system for the guns flowing into New York. Very similar to Chicago blames Indiana and all these different states like Kentucky near Illinois. They blame the people that are bringing them in, even though they've created an artificial black market for these guns and inflated prices significantly because they made them illegal. But they blame the states around them. So here's what they're going to do. And this is where it starts getting a little off the rails, and this is where they're going to get in trouble. This is crucial and key to understand in this fight because this is a big one. The proposal, backed by Assemblywoman Pat Fahey and Senator Zelnor Myrie, would make it easier for civil lawsuits to be brought against firearm manufacturers. The measure would expand the state's existing public nuisance law by adding gun makers who fail to take proper or reasonable safeguards to have their product fall into the wrong hands. Now, that's not subjective at all, is it? Reasonable and safe. Oh, gee, I don't know. Could that be manipulated and very subjective in a court of law? I think so. That's number one. It's not going to work. The law doesn't like subjective. The law likes cut and clear. That's number one. Okay? Number two, they already have national laws based around what they're about to do. So check it out. They are going after what's familiar to you as the PLCAA. Now, some background on this, the PLCAA stands for the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. This is a United States law, so national level, that protects firearm manufacturers and dealers from being held liable when crimes have been committed with their products. Very similar to a car manufacturer when a car is used in a drunk driving incident or a malicious intent incident. Now, It's really important because that is something that they've already tried to repeal this year in the House and the Senate. They've introduced bills on a national level to repeal the PLCAA. They felt it dead and flat. Nothing happened with those. But we even covered it on this channel. Now, what's really, really important is they're trying to do it at a state level, New York. And remember what I've always told you on this channel is New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago, those are the breeding grounds and the testing grounds to get what they want through. Now, if they go after this on a state level, knowing that a national law supersedes anything that they pass, it's unconstitutional on its face. Immediately it's unconstitutional. Now, if you look back in the past about month and a half, they're already in the Supreme Court in litigation, and they're going to get their hands handed to them on the fact that they negate bearing arms in public. It's heavily contentious debate, and it's going to be amazing when that goes through because I'm really curious how it's going to turn out. But if they go after the PLCAA on a state level, they're going to immediately be sued, and it's going to fall null and void, and nothing's going to happen. But why would they continue to do it? This is where their worldview comes in place, and this is what we are fighting against on a national and a state level. We've covered it a lot. But when the facts and the existing reality conflicts with their worldview, it's called cognitive dissonance. We've talked about it on this channel. It simply cannot be that I am wrong and my worldview is wrong, so I'm going to blame everything else. I'm going to find a way to justify my positions. Well, it's got to be more gun laws then. Well, we got to get rid of all the guns. If we make them illegal, they won't exist. Cognitive dissonance. Now, this is crucial because it shows you the left's mentality. They're in a crucial position where they are not getting what they want. It's been 6 months into this year, and not a single gun law has passed in a negative manner. The closest thing that they've got is in Colorado, in Denver. They are passing some gun restrictive laws with one very important one. I think it was the Senate Bill 256, where they will repeal preemption, which means local ordinances can make their own gun laws, which it's not done yet, but that's where they're going. And it's not working out the way they want on a national or a state level. They're getting desperate, guys. 2022 is right around the corner, and everything that we do together in order to enhance and further our freedoms, it matters. And get ready for 2022, because the second that we can take the House, maybe the Senate away from them as well, Biden becomes a lame duck, and we can focus on moving the ball in the positive direction. And you know that's what we're going to talk about on this channel, because we got a long road in front of us, but the fight is nowhere near over. But we're making progress every day. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow.